A toast to you, trying to make the very best of life. May your dreams become reality. There are a few simple steps to make a dream happen. Many want to realize their dreams, but they won't do the simple, easy things that are necessary. Why? Because something else is easier. Can you do 100 push-ups? Probably not. No way is 100 push-ups easy, but you can be one of the few who can do 100 push-ups at a time within a year. Ready for it? Starting now, do 1 push-up every time you walk into a new room. Yes, every time, every room, and just 1. If you walk into a room where you are too embarrassed to do a push-up, then do it before you enter, or owe that push-up to yourself and do it as soon as possible. Do this for 1 week. The next week, do 2 push-ups every time you're into a room. The week after that, do 4, and the week after that, 8, every time you walk into a room. So far, this is no big deal, and so keep it up, doing 8 for another month. The next month, do 16 in every room. The month after that, do 32 every time. In 3 months, you'll be able to do more push-ups than most. Well done! Now do 50 for 2 whole months. After those 2 months are up, increase the number you do by 10 every month. Before the end of the year, you will not only be able to do 100 push-ups, but you'll be able to do them relatively easily. Your entire physique will change in a year. You'll feel super strong throughout your entire core and upper body, along with increased stamina. This is super simple, and it starts with only 1 push-up. Will you do it? I'm serious. Will you do it? If you do, you'll be one of few, because everyone else will do something even easier every time they step into a new room, like check their phone or sit down. If you will accept the challenge for yourself, let me know by leaving a comment, and I will do it with you. You're clever, and I know you get it. I said that you can make your dreams a reality, and that there are simple, easy ways to do it. The reality is that simple doesn't mean easy, and you have to decide that you really want it. This is for those who really want it. A guy named Andy told me that he got curious about the people he knew who had made major changes in their lives. These people had messed up lives at one time, but that was in the past. Now they had things very much together. He started asking them, how did they do it? And there was a common theme. The stories they told him all started like this. One day, I decided. For these people, the circumstances of their life were either no longer acceptable or their future so inspiring that they decided to change. Are you ready for a change? That bothersome thing in your life, or perhaps the feeling that your whole life is, you fill in the blank. If you are ready to insist on change, I can help you achieve your dreams. I'm going to present this system through a story about a person who recently purchased their very own apple orchard named Chris. The story about Chris is going to combine various things a person needs to do in order to make a dream reality. Chris has one purpose in life, and that is to grow fruit. Chris knows all that is necessary about apples, but wants to get advice on how to apply that knowledge. Chris hires you and I as consultants to ensure the success of the apple growing operation. I know nothing about growing fruit, and in this story, you don't either. That's not a problem. Chris knows apples, and we know how to make dreams a reality. We also know that the entire life must be balanced in order for a dream to be achieved. So this process will go far beyond the business of apples. What are we going to tell Chris? The first thing we're going to do is ask Chris a question. What is your 5-year dream for this orchard? We want a detailed explanation of the dream, so we ask many specific questions. We will let Chris tell us everything about this dream. What type of apple will be grown? How many apples? Where will the apples be sold? How many people will be employed by the orchard? What will life be like for those who work there? What will people think when they see the label of this orchard on a piece of fruit? How nutritious will the apples be? What effect will the orchard have on the environment? What type of life will this business make possible for Chris, Chris's family, and the entire community? We will find out everything Chris wants for this vocation of running an orchard. We will then ask Chris about the dreams for every area of life. I am referring to the social, financial, physical, etc. The key point is that we will know what the dream for each area of life is. Check out my video on having a balanced life for more detail on the areas of life. The next thing we will do is ask Chris to list very specifically what needs to happen in 1 year to make each of the 5-year dreams possible. We will then ask what needs to happen in 6 months to make the 1-year events possible. We will then ask what must happen in 1 month, and again, what must happen in 1 week, and finally, what must happen today that will certainly lead to the 5-year dream becoming a reality. Now, Chris is looking at this huge list thinking, there is no way to get all of this done. We point out, though, that much of what Chris needs to do should be done every day, and so we combine the most important things on the list into routines that can be repeated every day without taking a bunch of self-discipline or thought. Next, we help Chris do other very important things by making them into habits. For instance, every day Chris is very busy but wants to connect with friends and family. A habit of calling a friend or family member every time Chris drives around the farm or on an errand would provide that connection. It's also difficult for Chris to get enough exercise due to the amount of office work required. Part of Chris's afternoon habit is to walk around different parts of the farm because we are implementing the principle that you don't get what you expect, you get what you inspect. Chris will make the habit of learning something about an employee with every tour of the farm. The walking provided the desired workout. These two habits will accomplish 3 things that are very important to Chris, which are having a personal connection with each employee, to be sure the employee is getting the affirmation and fulfillment out of being part of the orchard team, give Chris a workout, and also provide an opportunity to verify that things are being done as they should. We create as many habits as possible to accomplish what is very important. We ask Chris to think about every area of life and write down all of the commitments, responsibilities, and expectations of others related to those areas. It's a long list, but most of them repeat on regular intervals. Chris already uses an online calendar, which is very helpful for this. There are also a bunch of projects going around the orchard, and so we ask Chris to make a list of these projects and everything that needs to be done to complete them. We sit down with Chris, we look over everything. The routines, the habits, the dreams, the list of every commitment, responsibility, and expectation, along with the project lists. We set aside time for every routine. Then, any habits which are not part of another task are scheduled. And then Chris decides where every item required to make the dream a reality will go on the schedule. Next, the priority commitments, responsibilities, and expectation items, project tasks, and events from the calendar are all scheduled. Chris knows what to do, when to do it, and what the result will be in 5 years. There's no stress worrying that things are forgotten because everything has been accounted for and managed in a responsible manner. Chris is enjoying the peace of mind, productivity, and growth of the whole life transformation we provided. I chose a story about an apple orchard for a reason. Fruit is a metaphor for doing good things, and that is what all of our lives should be about. As you listen to the story of Chris, did you find yourself thinking that the principles can be applied to your life? I want you to realize that in the example of push-ups, there is a plan you can follow, which after 3 months will make you one of the rare people who can do more than 30 push-ups. After a year, you can be a superstar doing something that almost nobody can. Just one little thing like push-ups can change your body, and it will also change your attitude. The plan explained in the story of Chris is the path to change your whole life beyond your wildest dreams. The plan is simple, but not easy. You'll have to want it like your life depends on it, and there will be a lot of distractions, which you must say no to. You only have enough time to say yes to the right things. It really doesn't have to be that difficult. When I wrote down my dreams, I found that some of them were happening as a result of good habits that were already in place. There were others that were very difficult to achieve. Is the same true for you? My suggestion is to focus on 2 of the dreams that will require your focus and discipline. Make these the 2 that are the most important. Focus on these dreams until you have overcome the obstacles that make them difficult. When they have the momentum to continue without requiring your constant focus, move on to another dream. If you notice that things are slipping on an important dream that you hoped was on autopilot, then ease up on what you are doing and return to giving focus to the most important dreams. Hey, here's a quick recap of what we did and did not do for Chris. Dreams and the steps to achieve them were written down and scheduled, first with top priorities. Routines were developed and scheduled, habits were developed and scheduled, commitments made, responsibilities and the expectations of others were written down and scheduled. A calendar for the week was made, which includes time, first for the tasks required to achieve the dream, and then for routines, habits, and lastly, tasks and events. We did not provide specific knowledge about Chris's competency of running an apple orchard. There is one thing to remember from this video. Being successful is simple and possible if you will commit to change and follow the process. There is one thing to do. Write down your dream in a very specific and detailed manner for each area of your life. If you want to know more about the areas of life, check out my video on having a balanced life. That's all for now. Peace and love, fellow travelers, and please remember that truth to be understood must be lived.